On Thursday of this week, there's going to be a primetime hearing for the January 6th committee. I can't believe they're still trying to make this fucking nonsense happening. And the fact that they're getting a primetime slot on television, even though it is in the middle of well, not quite summer yet, but in the middle of June on a Thursday, like, what the fuck are they going to try to do? We're going to need a cap counter out for that, because how many lies are going to be forwarded on that one? Remember, it was so deadly and tragic. It's like 9/11 every day or some fucking dumb dog shit like that. But apparently, according to Elise Stefanik, isn't she the whip for the GOP or something like that? She got her high-ranking position and has done dick all with it so far by pushing back on anything that Biden's doing. Or Biden's been trying to push alongside his crazy fucking Democrat pals. That's what happens when you get women in power. Anyways, Elise Stefanik, the GOP ready to provide counter-programming to illegitimate January 6th hearing. Yeah. Okay, cool. What exactly are you going to do anyways? Republicans are ready to provide counter-programming to the illegitimate January 6th committee hearing. House Republican Conference Chairwoman Elise Stefanik. Right, that was the position that, what's her nuts there? Liz Cheney held. Right. I guess jokes on Stefanik and the rest of the GOP. She's going to be on television in that primetime slot, I guess, because she's one of the Republicans, a part of that bipartisan commission. I wonder how many times. Also, yeah, we're going to have a lie counter out as well, but then at the same time, you should also have another counter for how many times Adam Kinzinger breaks into tears. Oh, the committee announced it will be holding its first primetime hearing on Thursday. Which of the many alphabet networks are going to be covering that? That ought to be fun. This Thursday, June 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. God, that should be fun. The upcoming hearing gained even more attention after Federal Bureau of Investigators arrest former White House economic advisor Peter Navarro. More on that in a moment, but I want to see what they're going to be doing in counter-programming it. Okay. Stefanik said the committee is nothing more than pushing political opponents and targeting patriotic Trump supporters. Yeah, no, exactly. Your base, the only people left who are actually energized to vote Republican. So I try to differentiate that. That's the future of your party. Just take a look at how many of the endorsed candidates that have succeeded in primaries so far during this election cycle that got the Trump nod and ended up winning the primaries. It's, well, like approaching 100 to 3 or 4 at this point. So stop trying to segment that out. Work them in, you tard. Further, she noted that it does not even address the actual issue to make sure the U.S. Capitol has adequate security. No, it does, because they'll just go ahead and throw up the chain link fence with the barbed wire on top, because that's what they do. Remember, Joe Biden's, he's the president for the American people. Okay. Meanwhile, she said Americans are dealing with rampant inflation, high gas prices, a border crisis, and baby formula crisis. Yeah, no, but January 6th, though. Yeah, exactly. I want to move on to Peter Navarro here, because I don't know why the fuck he got arrested by the FBI. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. It's just another name that's somewhat high profile to do the old perp walk. Just like Roger Stone back in the cut. Oh, one of the members of Trump's inner circle got arrested by the FBI. Get fucked. But he did that, suspiciously, one day after he vows to impeach Biden. Wow, he has so much institutional power to actually impeach Biden. I guess the FBI's taken that seriously. Not anything else, though. You know, like any information that they knew was faulty and false regarding Russia and Trump. No, don't worry about any of that stuff. Federal Bureau of Investigations arrested former White House economic advisor Peter Navarro on Friday, acting on a referral from the Democrat-run House that held him in contempt for refusing to testify at the January 6th committee. I wonder if he'll be there on Thursday, now that the FBI's marched him out there. Like, even look at the way that the Associated Press is reporting that. Former Trump White House official. Again, he was an economic advisor. He wrote a pretty sweet report when it came to the 2020 election that was, I'm pretty sure that one got taken down off YouTube, but I know that video is still up on Rumble. It's like 45 minutes long, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good if I do say so myself, but that's verboten information. Can't discuss any of that stuff. Acting on, I'm sorry. Yes, he was indicted on contempt of Congress charges for defying a January 6th committee subpoena. where he can be grilled and asked nonsensical questions by that fucking gaggle of mongoloids. The arrest came one day after Navarro appeared on left-wing MSNBC to promise that he would lead efforts to promote the impeachment of President Joe Biden if Republicans retake Congress at the midterm elections, which they are expected to do. Yeah, okay, cool. He just says he wants Biden impeached. Cool. Are you going to try to hold the overwhelming majority of people who also think that Biden is doing a shit fucking job as president? Like, unbelievable. Navarro was held in contempt in Congress in March. It's June. Cool. Very timely with your arrest there, FBI. Along with former White House communications aide Dan Scavino, who was accused of refusing to testify based on false claims by the committee that he had not tried to cooperate. Looking back at the reports at the time, Navarro has said candidly in interviews that the plan among Trump loyalists was to use a peaceful protest at the Capitol to pressure Congress and Vice President Mike Pence to reject the certification of the Electoral College votes as from states where the results were being contested by the Trump campaign. Yes, that's what is one of the powers within the purview of the Vice President of the United States, which also doubles as the President of the Senate, and he has the right and the authority to do that under the Electoral Count Act of 1877 or 76, whenever that was passed. But no, according to good old Mike Pence, who's going to get his ass beat if he decides to run for president in 2024. That ought to be hilarious. But he cucked out like a good little neocon. Anyways, to reject the certification, electoral, blah, blah, blah. Contrary to the claims of the January 6th committee, Navarro said the violence that erupted interfered with the plan and ensured its failure. The violence that erupted or was agitated by a bunch of feds that were there that day. Navarro was among several witnesses who have been sued by the federal committee in federal court, obviously. Where else would they have jurisdiction? Claiming that it is a violation of the separation of powers by performing a law enforcement function. Yeah, wouldn't that be a bill of attainder? And that it has violated the terms of its own enabling resolution. Speaker of the House Pelosi, 2 drinks in, took the unprecedented step of refusing to seat some Republican members on the committee. Yeah, remember, because Jim Jordan, Jones from somewhere, and a couple of other really based guys were going to be on that committee, but they didn't want it because that's stupid. Don't be actually looking for answers with this committee. We just want it to be the brand new witch trials that are out here. The committee also subpoenaed Kevin McCarthy, that is. Well, that's nice. I'm sure he'd also be somebody else crying on that panel, targeting the leaders of the opposition in a one-sided inquiry. It was also reportedly worked that the Department of Justice in criminal investigations, despite denying due process protection to witnesses. Yeah, the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland's Department of Justice, you think he gives a fuck about that? Department of Justice, there they are again. Ignored the referrals for contempt of Congress when a Republican-led Congress found then Attorney General Eric Holder in contempt for refusing to hand over documents relating to Operation Fast and Furious, which led indirectly to the murder of a Border Patrol agent, Brian Terry, and when Congress found former Internal Revenue Service officer Lois Lerner in contempt for refusing to testify about her agency's effort to target conservative groups. Yeah, exactly. Both of those things verifiable from multiple sources using multiple pieces of evidence, okay? Now, those weren't enforced, but Peter Navarro, because he said mean things about Uncle Joe, he gets to be fucking perp walked out of wherever they found him. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Justice working as intended. Navarro was considered one of then-President Donald Trump's most effective advisors after leading the efforts to pass the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement to replace NAFTA, thank fuck, and pushing for tariffs on China as a geopolitical rival. Yeah, and also, actually crunching the numbers and being one of the very few advisors that were around Trump who is actually doing good work. Him and Stephen Miller. I was going to say the other one, the stripper knocker-upper. Not him. He's off running his not at all successful social media company, but whatever. Some people like it, I guess. Get her done. But yeah, that little committee, that little show that they're going to be putting on Thursday night, that ought to be interesting. See who's going to show up to that and how many lies and what spin is going to be there. So make sure to anchor yourself down. If you got a spare strap or two, make sure that it affixes nicely to your chair so you don't get spun out, because it's going to be a doozy. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Let you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.